Now, every month we invite viewers to get involved in our camera club. This month the theme was water. As part of the prize, we've teamed up with Bermingham Cameras, and today's lucky winner will be getting a brand new Panasonic Lumix GX800. Photographer Jenny McCarthy joins me now alongside this month's 3 camera club finalists. I have to say, you've been playing a blinder with these teams and the response has been absolutely fabulous. But this month...
We say that every month.
I know, but this month, I mean, they've been magnificent. This month, we couldn't tell which were the professional ones and which weren't. So that's how difficult it was. So you're on your own on this one, honey, I can tell you. I'm going to start over the far end, and this is Oliver Gargan, who we've met before. Good morning, Oliver.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Good to be
You
back.
have been a finalist before, and by the way, you've had a pretty good weekend yourself. You
Yes.
you got your licentiate, I believe.
I did, yeah. I put in my panel to the Irish Photo Federation, a panel of 10 photos, and I was successful, so I got my licentiate distinction.
Well done.
Well done.
So,
And of course,
thank you.
you're studying visual media as well, aren't you? And you I presume you hope to make a career of it.
Yeah, I just recently finished a 2-year multimedia course in Cavan Institute. So it was quite a broad course which covered a lot of different areas as well. So I brought in a bit of photography into it also.
So you're not professional, but you're almost.
I'd say I'm intermediate.
You're
now.
hoping that. Right, tell us about this shot.
I took this in Loch Rammer in Virginia. It was a practical night as part of a photography club I'm in, Breffni Photography Club.
Oh, the Breffni Club, yeah.
Yeah, we meet in Virginia every fortnight. So there was vintage cars, motorbikes as well. The good thing was the motorbike wasn't going anywhere, so I could kind of play around with different angles, compositions as well. So then the sun was setting, and I just thought it would make a nice photo to kind of...
Well, Jenny and I were just talking before we had. There's a narrative there, and it can be whatever narrative you like, whether it's relaxing at the end of a journey, whether it's heading off into the sunset, whether it's a whole combination of things.
And the composition is just sensational. Like, so when you look at the leading line just at the front of the wheel there, and then of course the horizon line, it's unreal. Like, it actually brings you into the shot, and I love the colour in it. It's an amazing, like all our shots today are colour. It's just such an incredible shot, and I love the fact that you incorporated your bike into it. It's
And of course, you've got the sunset bang smack in the middle of it as well,
like
too. It's almost geometrically precise, isn't it?
Stunning, and I love the cloud formation in the background. It's just a really great shot.
Right, Grace Vaughan, finalist number 2. Good morning, Grace. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
You are a writer, and a very successful one, and people will have read your material in the Journal and the Irish Independent and YouMum and Mumsnet, etc., etc., etc. But this is your hobby. This is how you relax. It's kind of therapeutic, is it?
It's my new drug.
Your new drug. And so you're not doing it very long, are you?
No, a year and a half.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And so tell us about this shot. And I'm assuming it's one of those snap of the, spur of the moment shots.
Well, myself and my husband, we try to get out with the kids on a Sunday evening, no matter what the weather is. And we were down at the ramparts in the Boyne, and this little fella, I think it's a boy, I'm not sure, but he was there, and I just had to, he was just kind of standing there, and there was a lot of people taking photographs of him, and I just loved the way that he just stood, and the water, like the noise of the water behind him, it just didn't move him, and it's just, for me, it was so peaceful. And I mean, I think that's what it does for me. It makes me stay in the moment and appreciate things, and I feel content when I'm doing photography.
There are incredible contrasts in this, Jenny. There's the mirror-like calm and placidness of the front bit.
Yes.
There's the turmoil of the water and the rapids. There's the fact that the bird is so still, but you know the reason he's being still is because he's waiting to pounce on something.
Yeah,
so it's literally the calm before he pounces on something.
You've stolen all of my
Sorry,
lines.
I'm just talking on the top of my head, but it's
a sensational shot. And we went out during the month and we took some transition year students out, and I was talking about putting elements in the foreground of your image, and when you look at the reeds coming up from the water, it adds another element to the shot.
You did it on the Boyne as well, didn't you?
Yes, we did, yeah.
Right, okay.
And the fact that the bird is to the right hand side of the picture and he's facing the left hand side, and the use of space on the left of the image, the rule of thirds is really, really good. I love the reflection in the water. Water isn't perfectly still, but almost. We talked about mirroring your shots at the beginning of the month and how to do it properly, and you absolutely nailed that shot. I can't believe you're just doing it as a hobby. When I looked at it, I had to look to see if you were a professional.
Well,
so it's a really,
making
really,
headways, hopefully.
really good shot.
Thank you.
Right, and our third finalist is Stephen Keogh. Good morning, Stephen. You're very welcome. You're from Cabra in Dublin, and you're an archaeologist by profession.
Yeah, that's my first. So photography is mainly just a hobby at the moment.
Well, now I have to tell you, when I saw this, I didn't know, because it's kind of so impressionistic, I didn't actually know whether this was water or whatever, and there's all sorts of stuff going on here. But as soon as I found out you're an archaeologist, it kind of made a bit more sense to me.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, well, the composition, you know, like composition kind of goes out the window here, Mark, because of what it is. And you're right, you have to look at it a few times to find out what it really is.
It could be an alien landscape or something.
Yeah, it could be taken from the sky. But it's just a really good shot. And, you know, again, in the last few months, I was talking about texture, shape and form, and all of those elements are in this shot. I spoke to you before we went on air, and you didn't do anything to the shot. You just brought up contrast and stuff. So the colour is the colour. And again, it wouldn't have worked as well in black and white. It's a beautiful shot, and I could stare at it all day and wonder what it is.
I'm just wondering, because you're an archaeologist, when you look at something like this, you're not just looking at the shot, but you're looking at the history and what's behind the shot, and the history of the landscape behind it.
In some cases,
Was that what you were trying to capture here, or
Or did you just shoot it?
Maybe this sort of was like, it was in on a beach in Donegal, Mahary, and it was just it was the evening sun, so the light was low, so I got down low to the ground to take the photo, and then it was kind of mainly afterwards when I looked at it, I saw, well, that I wanted to crop it to just this size because I liked how it was. You couldn't really quite tell it was just a beach. It could have been something, as you said, far from further away.
Yeah.
But it could be the Red Desert in Jordan. It could be Mars. It could be or it could be a puddle on Dollymount.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
that's what makes it so incredible, that you could sit looking at it for hours and wonder what it is.
Be
You know,
whatever you
I
want it
had
to
to
be.
even look at it and sort of say, how did he take it and what angle did he take it from? So I looked at it for a long time before, and I'd wonder how you took it. But it's the crop that makes it.
Any one of these would be worthy winners.
Yeah.
And the fact is that, you know, if you were all professionals, we wouldn't know any different.
Yes.
They're magnificent, and it's kind of hard to believe that the standard's getting better, but it is, which makes your job even harder.
Yeah, doesn't it?
You're on your own, honey, as I said.
You're unreal. But I would definitely put any of them on the wall. God, if I was to put all of these shots on my wall, I'd have no wall space left. I'm going to have to give it to you, Stephen. It's just
Congratulations.
a sensational shot. Well done.
That means you get the prize, the wonderful Panasonic Lumix, and it also means that you can't enter again.
Sorry.
It means the two of you can,
All right.
and we hope to see you again, right? And if you can produce shots like that on water, you can certainly do it on whatever the next team will be. And
They're
we'll
all
find that
winners.
out.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
absolutely
Thank you.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you very much indeed. Jenny will be back on the 11th of June to launch next month's theme for our Ireland AM Camera Club. Special thanks to Bermingham Cameras for those fantastic prizes, and congratulations to our finalists as well. Now, coming up after the break, we'll be back at the catwalk with the perfect summer style guide. See you soon.